Episode 1 of Moon in the Day opens 1,500 years in the past, where the great Gaia betrayed Scylla during an expedition ordered by the king. A warrior named Doha fights and manages to attack the Gaia general, ending the infernal war. Rita is the daughter of the deceased general killed by Doha. Doha executes the remaining family members of the general, but Rita manages to escape. She watches as Doha kills the remaining members of her family and decides to kill him. After multiple attempts of trying, Rita is finally successful. However, Doha's vengeful spirit continues to follow her everywhere she goes. Rita ends up giving her life by drowning in a river. The episode moves to the present time, where Rita's reincarnation is in the form of Kang Yonghwa, a firefighter. She wakes up from a nightmare and her colleagues tell her that she needs to see a doctor as she looks sick. Yonghwa ignores her health but has to rush on a distress call when an old building catches fire. Despite her failing health, Yonghwa manages to resuscitate a puppy who was trapped inside an apartment with its owner. Yonghwa's merit is featured on the news and she is called the miraculous firefighter. That night, Yonghwa goes back home on the train and ends up sleeping on a monk named Hei's shoulder. She misplaces her phone, which Heian manages to collect for her. Heian wonders if he has seen Yonghwa somewhere and she tells him it was probably on the news. He senses a poltergeist behind Yonghwa and recalls how he had seen Yonghwa as a child when he was a young monk in the monastery. At the same time, Juno, the reincarnation of Doha, is an actor who plays a firefighter in his new ad film. Juno keeps throwing tantrums on set, which causes his director and manager a lot of trouble. Juno tries to flee from the shoot to go on a date with his girlfriend young Iso. Iso tells Juno that she is only dating him because he is a top star. Meanwhile, beginning entertainment staff discuss what they should do about the latest scandal involving Juno. Han Mino asks the lawyer to pay off the paparazzi in order to keep the news of Juno's relationship a secret. On the other hand, Juno decides to throw a party to celebrate his 300th day anniversary with Iso. After shopping for hours, Juno runs into a fellow actor, Taeho. The two rival actors have an argument and finally reveals that he had signed a new drama with Iso. Juno is restless after the revelation and is worried sick, wondering why Iso has kept the news a secret from him. His manager Jen Yun suggests that the actress probably wanted to split up from Juno. Juno meets Mino and throws another fit, threatening to reveal the truth about his relationship with Iso if she stars in a historical drama with Taeho. Juno calls Mino out for firing Mr. Suk and leaves the room in a hissy fit. Attorney Go enters the room right after Juno's exit and Mino asks him if he knows where Mr. Suk is, as it turns out Mr. Suk is the man whose dog Yonghwa saved that night. Mr. Suk is released from the hospital and thanks Yonghwa for how she helped him. He hands over his business card to Yonghwa and offers to repay her kindness. Yonghwa reads the card and learns that Mr. Suk is the CEO of Beginning Entertainment. The firefighters discuss how Mr. Suk is wearing an old worn-out luxury suit as if he were stuck in the past. They also noticed how Mr. Suk's dog was incessantly barking at Yonghwa. That night, Yonghwa is about to wake up from a nightmare. When Doha's ghost tries to pat her on the head to calm her down, a flashback shows how Rita used to sing Doha to sleep. Back to the present time, Doha's spirit manages to calm Yonghwa down. On the other hand, Juno is celebrating his 300th day anniversary with Iso. Juno throws a tantrum asking Iso to let him star in the drama instead of Taeju. Iso refuses to let Juno have his way and leaves the next morning. Juno is late to his shoot when manager Yun Jae finds him still sleeping. Yun Jae reads a note on Juno's head left by Iso wherein she states that she has decided to break up with him. Juno manages to get to the shoot where he meets Yonghwa, who is being awarded for her merit. Juno and Yonghwa have an awkward interaction, during which Juno belittles Yo's profession. She gets angry at him and decides to teach him a lesson by snatching his phone. Yonghwa takes his phone away, after which Juno chases after her to apologize to her. Juno threatens her to apologize to him. Juno threatens to report Yonghwa, and the two part ways on an angry note. However, Juno tells Yun Jae how Yonghwa had twisted his arm after seeing a huge bruise on the actor's arm. Yun Jae goes to reprimand Yonghwa. At the same time, Mino is at the hospital when he finds out that Juno has been suffering from a rare type of blood cancer due to the intensity of the illness. Juno only has a few days to live. Mino is saddened by the news and decides to make Juno happy in his final days. He calls someone and orders to have Taeju scandals leaked. Juno, on the other hand, is alone in his van when he falls unconscious. He faints on the steering wheel and the van starts to move. Yonghwa, who was nearby, notices the van sliding into the ocean and jumps in to save Juno. She somehow manages to break open the glass and rescues Juno, who was taken out by other firefighters. Yonghwa ends up losing consciousness underwater, but the mysterious spirit of Doha helps wake her up. After coming to the shore, Yonghwa watches the firefighters resuscitate Juno. When the firefighters are not able to wake him up, he is taken to the hospital. There, Yonghwa makes a prayer and wishes for Juno to come back to life. She somehow passes out from exhaustion and is taken into urgent care. Meanwhile, the doctors try their best to bring Juno back but fail. They declare him to be dead and Mino leaves to arrange for his funeral. In the morgue, Juno suddenly wakes up with Doha's spirit in his body. He leaves the morgue to see Younghwa, who is admitted to the same hospital. The episode ends with Juno suddenly hugging Younghwa while holding a knife in his hand with the pretext of killing her. The episode review: this looks like an interesting drama, and after seeing Kim Young-dae and loving him in Shooting Stars, Juno's character will be a hit with fans. The other character that he plays, Doha, resonates with his tundra acting from Extraordinary You in Penthouse, and it'll be exciting to see this duality. After watching Pei Jing as the diligent hacker Ono in Taxi Driver Season 2, recently it is surprising to see her as a clumsy main lead. I hope her character as Younghwa is much more than a damsel in distress, as her character seems extremely promising. This show has a good start and hopefully this continues as the story progresses.